Welcome back. The British wrote history. James Mill, who was a British historian or a Scottish economist and political philosopher in 1817, he wrote a massive three-volume book. The caption was A History of British India. In that history book, he divided the periods of Indian history into three phases: the Hindu phase, Muslim phase, and the British phase. Mill told that all the Asian societies were of the lower level of civilization than Europe. So Asia was underdeveloped and Europe was developed. In order to develop the Asian people, Mill told that the rule of British was essential. Before that, Rudyard Kipling, the famous author of Jungle Book, also told that it was the white man's burden to develop the barbaric Asians, barbaric Indians. So all the British people they subscribed to the opinion that they were superior and Indians were inferior. According to his telling of history, before the British came to India, the Hindu and Muslim kings, sultans, who were despots, who ruled according to their own sweet will, they ruled over the country. There were religious intolerance, caste taboo, economic underdevelopment, lack of education. So India was totally engrossed with darkness. Mill told that the British rule would civilize India. He reposed a trust over the British rule. But was it correct? Certainly not, because the British rule was not the rule of a benevolent ruler, but the rule of a colonial ruler who wanted to drain all the resources of India. So, the periodization as done by Mill was not correct. So, we may periodize. How? Now, we divide history into different periods in order to capture the characteristic of a time. It is the central feature which appears to us that whenever we periodize, we impose some importance over a specific event or a group of events for which we periodize. So the modern historians nowadays they are periodizing history on the basis of ancient, medieval, and modern period, which was not like James Mill. James Mill opined that it was Hindu, Muslim, and British period. He gave the nomenclature on the basis of the religion of the ruler, which was completely erroneous and wrong. Mill wanted to tell that the Hindu and Muslim rulers were despots and British rule was for the benefit of Indians, which was not the case. Nowadays, historians are ascribing the periods into ancient, medieval, and modern period. This division is also not free from errors. This division or this periodization is borrowed from the West. So, modern period means the development of science, the development of reason, logic, democracy, social justice, development of education, etc. and etc. But if we strictly look into the period from 1750 onwards till the attainment of independence of India, certainly we cannot believe that this period is modern. This period is not modern, rather it is the colonial period. What is colonialism then? The question pops up in our mind. Colonialism is a term that refers to a process in which one country subjugates another and thus brings political, economic, social, and cultural changes. This means that a powerful country dominates a less powerful country in all areas from ruling to food, culture, dress, manners, and even in festivals also. So, if someone asks you that is colonialism existing nowadays also? Yes, because as you know, the British had left us long, long years ago. We met with our destiny. There was a tryst with our destiny, as Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru told. But now you can see everything of the British, from their language, their education system, their festivals and celebrations, even Happy New Year, which all we celebrate are only the remnants of the British culture. We are becoming oblivious to our own culture, and we are very much following the British culture, their language pattern, even if they already had departed India in 1947. So the remnants of colonialism is still existing. So colonial period is not a period of development. It is a period of underdevelopment. It is a period of dependence. It is a period of untold misery, drain of Indian wealth, and there was also the scars and wounds of partition, which was also given by the colonial people. So let us look at the picture. It is the picture of Warren Hastings, who became the first Governor General of India in 1773. At that time, it was not the designation of a Governor General of India, it was the Governor General of Bengal. So now another sub-caption comes into our mind: sources of the history of the colonial period. How would we know the sources of history of that colonial period? How could we know about the history of colonial period? As students, you already know that the history of ancient period and medieval period is easy to, but the history of a colonial period is difficult or easy to know. Yes, it is much more easy. That means it is easier to know, because during the ancient period and medieval period, we had to go to the archaeological resources, to the travelogues, literary resources, artifacts, and the monumental resources. But in studying the history of a colonial period, there are a lots of sources available with us, even instructions, plans, policies, everything of the British was clearly written up in black and white. So it is very much easier for us to know the history of the British period, that is the colonial period. The British was a paper government. They wanted to write everything in black and white. That means they wanted to keep a lots of paper. Even a single letter had many copies, and they also gave importance too much to the written documents. So you can find the record rooms nowadays also in Tahsil office, RI office, collector office, record room, archives, state archives, as well as national archive, which you also called as archive. So the National Archive was set up by the British in 1920, and it was adjacent to the Viceregal Lodge, which is presently the Rashtrapati Bhavan. That means the Governor General, the Viceroy, gave too much importance to the records, so he did not want that this national archive should be situated afar. So he set it up near to his own residence. It was established in New Delhi in 1920. The British, in spite of the paper, in addition to their paperwork, they also gave much importance to survey, because they were a colonial group of rulers. They were foreigners. They wanted everything to be written, everything to be surveyed, everything to be brought to book. So every village, every plant and animal, revenue and population surveys were conducted throughout their period. They kept everything ready. So survey, even you see the picture of the custard apple which you are seeing now, they also did not leave this unimportant plan because they wanted to know regarding everything. Ruling a foreign land was not so easy for them, so they kept everything ready for their referral. So whenever a new ruler comes, he turns the pages and learns the things. But you see, all these are official records. These records do not always help us to understand what other people in the country felt and what lay behind their action. So, in addition to the British sources, we have to know other sources also. What are they? Now, they are diaries of the people, accounts of pilgrims and travelers, autobiography of important personalities through which we could study and know about the history of the colonial period. But you see, all these things have been produced by the literates. So, the history of the colonial period would be understood also by the lively experiences of the tribals, their struggles, the struggle of the tribals, peasants, and workers. They may not be accounted in history, they may not be incorporated in the history of colonial period, but many of these stories are the folklores in the tribal region, in the rural world. So, whenever we are going to study the history of a colonial period, in addition to all these resources, we should also refer to these unrecorded resources, these folklores, in order to get a first-hand view regarding the history of India. So, at last, some of the key words in this chapter, which are historian, a person who studies history. Debate means discussion on an important topic, giving pros or cons, perspective or consequentive or consequences views, means for the motion and against the motion. Third is periodization, classifying events into periods. Ancient is very old. Medieval period is the period in between modern and ancient period. Colonialization is the process in which one country subjugates another and rules over it, influences it through politically, economically, socially, and culturally. Subjugation means suppressing one country by another. Calligrapher, a person who is expert in writing by hand. Survey, the act of examining and recording the measurements features of an area of land to prepare a map or plan for it. Archive or archive, a place where historical documents or records of a government, an organization, etc. are stored. So, thank you very much, students. The question answers as well as extra question and answers have been prepared by me. So, you should refer them and get ready for this lesson, and you also try your level best to answer all these in-text questions and extra questions. In addition to the questions, I have also forwarding the answers. So first you should go through the questions and try to write your own answer. Then you should refer the model answers provided by me and get ready for your future plan. Thank you very much.